JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 15th of February 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, as you are aware, the U.S. equity markets are closed today. So, yep, for today it's mainly Europe that's driving the market. China was also closed due to the Lunar New Year celebrations. So, yep, here, for example, you can see Footsie is taking the lead today and well, pushing nicely to the upside and climbing above some of these resistance areas that I talked about recently. So basically for now, of course, the fact that it's popping above this 6,610 zone, yes, of course, that kind of brought some positivity. Then the fact that it continued to rally and tested this 6,676, or should I say 77 actually, territory. Now that's also a nice positive. It overcame that area as well, and in a way, as long as it stays like this, to be honest, and stays somewhere above this 66.77 territory, then yes, the next target here could be that 6,770 zone marked near the highs of 19th and 21st of January. Slightly above that, we do have that 6,802 zone, but of course we'll take it from there. For now, let's just see how this index is going to close, or should I say where this index is going to close in relation to the 66.77 territory. Excuse me. If it stays above it, then yes, my next target is the 6,770 territory. Jumping into Ibex 35. So last week and the week before that, I spoke about Ibex, and basically the idea that I mentioned that in a way, even if it retraces back down here, if this downside line somehow provides good support and acts as a nice trampoline here, then yes, and especially if then the price climbs back above this 8,088 territory, then yep, this is where we could start maybe looking at some higher levels again, and we could potentially target the 8,276 territory once again, because as you can see, this area so far continues to provide decent resistance. So that's given also the fact that the price is now trading back above the 21-day EMA and back above this 8,088 zone, then yes, of course, this kind of increases the chances for a possible further move north. But as I said, I'll go step by step on this one. My next target is the 8,276 territory right here. In terms of the downside, for me to maybe consider aiming for lower areas, well, at this point in time, I would actually prefer to wait for maybe a drop below the 7,921 zone right here and then go for lower areas. But at the moment, it is where we are here. We are above that 21-day EMA, so there's a lot of things that are leaning towards the upside, so keep your eyes on that one. DXY. So DXY, this morning, if you remember, I told you guys to keep an eye on this hurdle right here, this 90.25 zone, which as you can see, once again proved to be an important area of support. Now in order to go for some lower areas, I'll stick to the same rule, I'll stick to the same plan, that a drop below this 90.25 zone is required, because this way the index will confirm a forthcoming lower low and further declines could be possible. But at the moment, of course, as you can see, this hurdle is kind of doing its job. It's acting as a good area of support. But if that gets broken, then yes, it could open the door towards lower areas, so keep that in mind. For me, to consider the upside here, well, I would prefer to wait for a push back above this upside line, this short-term upside line drawn from the low of the 6th of January, and also above the push above the 91.24 zone right here, which previously acted as a good area of resistance. Jumping into silver now, this one's quite interesting. So if gold is still trading kind of on the lower side and trading below that downside line, if you remember from my morning video today, silver is doing the opposite here. It seems that it's picking up interest again, however, picking up buying interest again. However, as I mentioned before, that in order to go for some higher levels, well, wait for at least a push above this barrier right here, the 27.92 zone marked by the high of the 6th of January here, and actually say the highest point of January, because as you can see on the 9th of February last week, the commodity came close to testing this hurdle, but it failed to kind of actually reach that area by just a few points. So let's see if the bulls have enough steam, let's say, to drive the precious metal here above, this time above this in 27.92. If they do, then yep, we could start looking at this next area of resistance, which by the way was tested recently, this 29.86 territory marked by the highest point of August of last year. We have tested that area on the 1st of February. We even overshot it a little bit, but again, we'll keep it short and simple for now. If we do overcome this 27.92 territory, then yep, my next target is the 29.86. Jumping into Ripple, so Ripple retraced a lot, together with other major cryptocurrencies. So Ripple, as you can see, after testing this area, the near the 0.5050 territory, it kind of retraced back up here. However, it's still a tricky one, because well, in order for me, let's say, to go for some higher levels, well, I would like to see now a push above this hurdle, this barrier, the 0.6436 mark, which is currently the highest point of February. If that doesn't happen, I will still maybe stick to the idea of seeing maybe a bit of a correction here to the downside again, towards this upside line drawn from the low the 2nd of February. Now, don't get me wrong, this upside line is a little bit on the tentative side. However, in a way, we could see maybe this area getting filled, and if this upside line does provide some sort of good support, then yep, a nice rebound and a push higher could be possible once again. So keep that in mind, guys. For now, like I said, I'll be very careful here. Yes, the ideal scenario here, it would be to see a bit of a decline here, maybe a test of this upside line, and then see a nice pop higher. The alternative scenario will be that if we get a pop above this 0.6436 territory, now yep, maybe we could start looking at some higher levels again. AUDCHF. So beautiful explosion here today to the upside. And we've managed to overcome some of our key resistance levels. For example, the highest point of July of 2019, and that's roughly around the 0.6955 mark. We did briefly kind of visit the area above that hurdle, but as you can see, the bears pushed the pair back down strongly, by the way. And well, my question here is, can we actually now remain below the this previous highest point of February near the 0.6935 zone? If we can, then maybe we'll see a bit of a corrective move here lower. But if it cannot stay below this hurdle, then maybe we're not really done with that upside yet. So very interesting moment right now, guys. Like I said, keep your eyes on the high of the 8th of February here, near the 0.6935. If that area somehow continues to provide resistance, then a bit of a corrective move lower here could be possible. Now USD CHF, here basically the pair continues to struggle to get back above this upside line drawn from the low of the 6th of January. So and as you can see here by the chart and what I've mentioned before, that in a way for me to aim for some higher levels, well, I would need to see a push back above this upside line and back above the 0.8983 territory right here. At the same time, we could see maybe the rate already climbing above the 100-day EMA here, and maybe more buyers this way could join in. However, today we saw an attempt to push higher. We tested the upside line from underneath, and well, the bears stepped in very quickly and dragged the rate back below the 0.8920 territories around here, the highlighted area. So this of course kind of raises concerns here with the upside. However, we cannot really get comfortable with the downside either, because I would prefer to get or to see a drop below the 0.89 0.8890 level right here, marked by the current lowest point of, is that correct, the current lowest point of February? No, that's the low of last week. There we go. So not the current lowest point of February, but the low of last week. And the 0.8890, so if we get a break below this, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and further declines could be possible. GBPJPY, so this one is of course is exploding nicely here to the upside, and well, for this, let me just kind of zoom out here and let's have a look where we are right now. So after we managed to overcome the highest point of September here at 142.72, you can see that we pushed higher, but then kind of retraced a little bit, tested the area very close to it, and yep, then kind of continued to move north. So the pound, in a way, it seems to be on the stronger side right now, or actually I would say it's not the pound, basically it's more of a yen right now. So the yen is on a bit on the weaker side. So basically, because we can see that there's the Euro JPY is also kind of popping higher. However, GBP Aussie is slightly on the modest side. So long story short, here, for example, if you're looking for the next potential barrier, the next potential resistance area, one of which could be this one, the highest point of December of 2019, and that's roughly around 147.96. We're not far from that area, about 150 pips away. Sometimes that's nothing for this pair, but of course for now keep your eyes on the high of the 16th of December near the 146.82, and we're not far from that hurdle, as you can see. If by any chance this area somehow provides resistance, yep, another slide here could be possible, so keep that in mind. For now, we are very careful here because, again, although we are a bit maybe overstretched here to the upside, still we have not really seen a good reversal signal yet. And finally, EURUSD. So quick update here. Same analysis, actually, to be honest, is going to remain the one I've mentioned this morning. So basically the idea was that if the pair continues to balance above the 21-day EMA together with this 1.2109 zone, then there is a good chance for this one to push higher. However, to get comfortable with higher areas, still a break above the 1.2156 territory is needed. This way the pair kind of will or should I say could potentially open the door for itself towards some higher levels, but at the moment you can see it's even struggling with this 1.2156, so it seems that there's not enough steam here in the bull block. So yeah, for now I'm kind of taking it carefully, because just in case if DXY suddenly reverses sharply to the upside, then well, we could see a huge decline here on EURUSD. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let's keep an eye on some of the levels here, and as I said, one of the levels for me here for the upside is the 1.2156 territory right here. A nice good break above it would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and more buyers could join in. So yeah, guys, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. It was a quick session just to see how some of these instruments were doing. Some new ones, of course, we picked up on some new ones. So yeah, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for joining in, watching until the end. Thank you very much for the likes, guys. I really appreciate that. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, that's 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful evening, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.